Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Frigiphobia, the Neon Goblin playthrough of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. My name is Morgan, and as always, I will be your GM for this evening, and I'm joined by this beautiful cast of goblins, playing our Goblin Sorcerer Bard, Osborne.
Ahoy.
James, yes. Playing Vulcan, the Genasi Artificer, we have Griffin.
Hello.
Playing the human paladin Wilhelm, we have Alden.
Hey.
Playing our changeling fighter Ryston, we have Kevin.
Hello.
Playing our Shatterkai ranger Zadrin, we have Prescott.
Hello.
Playing the lovely dragonborn druid Gran, we have Kristen.
Howdy.
And of course, last but not least, returning once again this week is our fantastic guest star Devin, who is playing the mysterious wizard Vellynne Harpel. Welcome back.
Why, hello.
Before we jump into tonight's session, we do have a couple of quick announcements to get out of the way. First and foremost, as always, we want to thank our continuing sponsor for this evening's game, Roll20. Roll20 is our tabletop of choice for our virtual gaming. They are system agnostic, meaning you can implement their entire tool suite to run any of your online games, no matter what game system you use. The Roll20 platform comes fully outfitted with a bunch of tools and features for all subscription tiers, but subscribing at a pro level also gets you an additional suite of assets for free each month, ranging from map packs, dynamic lighting experiences, and token packs, all sorts of exciting tools to make your game super immersive and customizable. So Roll20, as always, we thank you so much. We will continue to use your lovely platform for our game tonight. Secondary, just quick announcement as a reminder, because I have not been throwing it out for the last couple of sessions. Just a reminder to our viewers that the Icewind Dale adventure is a horror adventure. There are at times circumstances in gameplay that may be uncomfortable for certain viewers. We strongly encourage you, if such a circumstance arises, that you take a moment away from the stream, make sure that you are enjoying it to your best capability. All the players in the game also know that should any of those instances arise for them, they have full autonomy to halt gameplay so we can realign and make sure that everyone is enjoying their experience. So, with all the business out of the way, because I do love giving you all the business, who wants to give us a recap of last week's session for an inspiration? Devin, you haven't done one yet. Why don't you try and give us a recap from last week?
All right. Let's see. We are currently on what is the name of the island in actuality?
Solstice.
Yes.
Solstice.
Yes. We're currently on the island of Solstice. My character, Vellynne, has recruited the party to help her find what they now know. Our ultimate goal is to find the lost city of Yithrin. To do that, it is currently the way to it is blocked by a frozen waterfall on or inside the Ragged Glacier.
Mm-hmm. It's part of the glacier.
Gotcha. The way we can open the way is with the Codicil of White. The way for us to get the Codicil of White or retrieve it, it is on this island. I think the glacier is also on this island. Is that right? Do I know that?
It's near.
Okay. There is a certain orb, a professor orb, that is mine, that was fucking stolen. I want it back. And up until recently, they didn't know that's what we're doing. Is I want my damn orb back, so we can maybe get that Codicil of White, get to that city I've been searching for so bad, and in turn, maybe we can take out Auril, which they care about far more than I do. To that end, we've been traveling across the island of Solstice. It's very cold. After a battle with some frozen mannequins, we rested. And during that rest, one of my employees, a kobold, unfortunately was not of sound mind, went out into the cold late at night. Zadrin, ever astute and also a light sleeper, decided to investigate and noticed, I don't know if they thought at the time what it was, but what appeared to be an Auril type. And yeah, what Morgan was pointing at. It was creepy, it was spooky. He shot at it. Of course. Of various percentages of the party decided to fight. I did not. I needed my beauty sleep and spell slots.
Some of us had levels of exhaustion.
Yeah, that too. And so after successfully not defeating, but maybe boring Auril, she fucked off. We got our hard-earned sleep. I retrieved what was left of the now missing, but not necessarily dead, Egon, the kobold.
Baby.
Yes, and we set off once more. And we did, in fact, find what remains of Nas Lantomir, along with her familiar weasel named
Zelenor?
Yes, that. And while we were there, we turned around and there's a ghost behind us of Nas, and she's got shit to say.
A good ghost.
Yes, and she did not seem super super friendly. I gotta say, she was a little uppity, but that might be me putting on airs, but I did not get the feeling that she was super forthright with wanting to let me have that goddamn thing back.
No,
You did want to murder her familiar.
Well, I did do that.
Yeah, he threatened it.
I threatened it. I said I didn't want to. So that's where we are. We're at the corpse of Nas Lantamir. Probably due for an interesting conversation with said ghost.
Specifically, the ghost of Nas Lantamir appeared behind the party in sort of translucent spectral form, but completely ignored the rest of you, turning her censuring gaze upon Vellynne and declaring her a deceitful bitch. And that is where we left off last time. So as you all sort of turn in place to see this entity, let me get from Osborne a charisma saving throw. Oh, I'm sure that'll be easy for you, though.
Well, you never know.
Add 4.
Hey, all right. Add a D4 or just 4?
Just 4.
All
It's
right.
my charisma modifier. It's my aura.
Okay, that'd be a 24 then.
24, okay.
Okay, dang, you didn't
As
need-
this strange female ghastly visage spits this insult at Vellynne, you watch her turn towards you and sort of dive in like a fluid movement and pass through you.
Oh,
And the cold that you felt from this highly inhospitable terrain has still just been a very kind of physical, torturous cold. But what you feel when Nas passes through you, it's like a chill to your soul. You feel almost as if the light and warmth of your happiest memories is suddenly pulled from within you, and you're unsure if it'll ever come back. But you rally yourself, sort of bury your feet in this sort of unseen sense of mental fortitude, and she continues to pass through you, leaving you unscathed as she circles around towards Vellynne, just moving in a very strange sort of disjointed glide. So her larger movements are very fluid, but her head twitches at odd angles. Her joints seem sort of frozen and locked into uncomfortable positions. Vellynne, she sort of drifts around the party towards you, and you see just a fierce disdain on her features. And she begins to slowly circle around you.
As soon as I hear the voice, for any sort of movement she's doing, I'm just like locked eyes, effectively ignoring the party. And when she stops moving for a little bit, just still like squaring her up, I'm just like, deceitful. You stole my orb. You killed 2 of my kobolds. Middle of the night, left immediately afterward. And I'm deceitful. I'm the bitch.
Oh,
Well.
Hello. Sorry. There's a lot of us here. It's not just whatever you two have going on. Can we mediate maybe? Is there...
Go
Can we
ahead and
have
move
some
your
sort of
tokens in real time for me if you're moving about the space.
Hello, excuse me. Sorry, I'm just wanted to maybe forestall any potentially spiritual violence anyone was about to commit on anyone.
She reluctantly turns towards you, Ryston, her brow furrowing. You can see this sort of wash of pale blue that's taken over her form is frostbite. You can see as she gets close that the rises of her cheeks, the point of her nose, the tips of her fingers where they emerge from her mittens are all eaten away, leaving patches of exposed muscle tissue or bone in certain places. Tell me, what has she told you about her plans for this adventure that she's led you on?
Well, so far it's been a lot of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. Vis-a-vis, she wants some very specific stuff as far as books and help with ancient ruins goes. And sorry, you're moving a lot. Can I? I'm just gonna keep talking.
He just continues to slowly
we'll just
glide around
So
the party.
I'm gonna put myself right here, and then we're gonna see what. Anyway, there's yeah. So we're helping her with there's a city. It's called Ithrin. We're having to find a book so we can get there, and there's various magical things. She wants to loot it, you know, which is a motivation I can personally understand pretty
He
well.
floats through you as you speak, and you feel that same shuddering cold sensation, but not overpoweringly so.
Now, listen, can I just for a second, I'd like to put a pin in Vellynne for a moment and address the fact that it's already horribly cold out here. You died of the cold and are now a ghost, and I, still alive, feeling it pretty hard. And you're just kind of drifting through, and like, does my soul really need to also be chilled right now? Is all I'm kind of. I don't want to be rude or anything.
That she is not reacting at all to your words. She is examining each member of the party in turn.
Hey, excuse me. Sorry, that's not. We're not gonna make. That's not working for me. You need to talk to me right now.
She disappears from sight.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say as she checks me out, I'll say a prayer to the Raven Queen for her to move on, please, to the afterlife.
That was some great mediation.
Vulcan, as you call this out, you feel a shudder run down your spine as she appears behind you.
Oh.
I need you to give me a charisma saving throw, please.
I think he gets to add +4. Let me measure. Yeah, add 4.
22.
Okay.
Nice.
You feel the same harrowing chill as she moves through you.
Hey, do not consent.
Comes to a stop here.
Listen up,
finally
Lantimir. I'll
pauses.
kill a ghost. Don't do this right now.
She kind of cants her head at you.
This rapier is magical, and you're very much stabbable. All right? Let's not be possessing.
So what you've wasted all these words to say is that you're still useful to her. That would be why she hasn't killed you yet. Oh, Vellynne, don't you want to tell them of all our fun times back at the Brotherhood?
So if you would mind coming over here, we can continue our conversation.
Osborne, Wilhelm, Vulcan, and Ryston. Give me either Arcana or History checks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dear.
I get advantage on
Those
Arcana
both
checks
suck.
because Rune Knights are fun to play.
17.
I just
20 minus 1 for a 19.
That's a 21 for me.
14 for me.
Okay.
And by the way, on D&D Beyond, I'm using the Rime of the Frostbane dice, and you guys can't hear it, but the people at home should be able to.
Oh,
I rolled
shit.
a 20. It made some very nice noises.
Mm.
Wilhelm, the way she speaks of a brotherhood, it sort of scratches the back of your brain, but you're not able to pinpoint why it sounds familiar.
I don't know things. It's fine.
The rest of you that rolled put together pretty quickly. Vellynne is a wizard. Nass certainly appears to be one. There is the very definitive, iconic spell book on her hip that is held in place by a leather sort of strap harness. The Arcane Brotherhood is a notorious organization of very powerful, very dangerous, and often very evil mages. just so you have context. Nas comes back around to you, Ryston, and sort of folds her gaunt, sort of air mummified, frozen hands together. And you hear this really terrible groaning of tissue that's made to stretch to accommodate the pose. You are excitable and skilled if you've all made it here alive.
Reasonably so. That's pretty fair for all of us to characterize.
So what did she promise you in return for your blind assistance?
The end of winter.
I can't remember.
The end of winter.
Does any?
The end of winter.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
End of winter.
it's
No, not literal all winter. I mean, come on, we're not
Just
looking
this one.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
just
perpetual
this-
winter, the defeat
just
of
the
Auro.
big one.
She scoffs.
I have a
Go ahead.
no. It's I like her scoffing at me.
She scoffs and disappears from sight again, appearing
Oh,
a
come
moment
on.
later by you, Vellynne. And she's sort of at this point leaning in her suspended pose. You said you're going to help them deal with Auro. Oh, you're so selfless, aren't you, Vellynne? Oh.
Excuse me, counteroffer. I have a counteroffer to all the possessing and the threatening and the vague hinting and all that. You're listening? You're not gonna vanish and try to possess us again? At least for the duration of the conversation.
Depends how the conversation goes.
Yeah, great. All I wanted. Anyway, you seem kind of fucked out here, aren't you? Trapped as a ghost on the island of Solstice in the sea of moving ice alone with a weasel, which, honestly, we weren't going to kill. We weren't going to let Vellynne kill a weasel.
Oh
For no
no,
reason.
we like him.
I wasn't going to kill the. It's
You
not an
threatened it.
animal.
You threatened it. It's a thing.
It's
Anyway.
a familiar. It's just
We can probably help you get moved along or at least relocated. Maybe you could be a counterweight against Vellynne's apparently fell influence upon our poor innocent party of foolish waylaid adventurers. This, of course, does entail a no possessing or otherwise attempting to supernaturally influence us clause.
Do you suggest I travel with you?
Well, I mean, I suggest we ferry you to someplace that isn't awful. Whether that's your afterlife of choice or literally anywhere that isn't this hellhole.
There is only one thing that will fulfill my purpose here, and that is obtaining the codicil, that which she would weaponize.
Vellynne, weaponize? Expand on weaponize?
well. Before I do that, you did steal my thunder a bit. Though I find you detestable, Nas, I did not deny that you are talented and a boon to the organization that we're both a part of.
Oh, spare me the pandering and get to the point.
As much as I dislike you personally, I think your death a waste. I would not be opposed to assisting you in, if you did not wish to pass on this life, to return to where we come from and seeing if there's a way to reverse this unfortunate mistake on your part. However, the codicil will allow us to go find the lost city of Yithrin. It may as well be useful in other ways. It is a spell book, among other things. And I do not deny that if it had other uses, I would utilize it to its fullest.
I have another point of order, which is that avarice is also very much involved in our whole situation. Not that I'm making any assumptions here, but I am gonna go ahead and assume that the other super powerful wizard, who's like really interested in what we're up to, is somehow part of this whole thing.
Well, where's Dazan? Why don't we get the whole family together?
Pretty sure they burned him at the stake.
Did
I
they?
forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was when we first met Vellynne, I was kind of like prodding in a sort of like, so burned at the stake guy, your pal direction, and you know, we had a dragon to deal with at the time, but
Vellynne, before we get too far off, go ahead and roll me either persuasion or deception. You don't have to tell me which, on whether you would actually hold up that end of a bargain with Mass to try and bring her back. You can whisper that to me and roll 20.
Mm-hmm. Or we won't find out.
Okay. I hope this is good. It seems good. It's a 17. I'm not gonna tell you what version
That's
it is.
total?
Total, yeah.
In that case, I'm going to whisper you. In the meantime, Ryston, were you finished?
yeah, I'm that was it.
Okay. Dazan deserved his fate many times over. Most of us do not shy away from the more unseemly tasks that often align with our work, but he... I sometimes think he relished bloodshed and avarice. She certainly is no stranger to it either. Tell me, how is it you came across her path and still chose Vellynne as your associate for these undertakings?
Oh, she's much more charming.
Yeah, Vellynne was willing to talk. Avarice was just immediately murderous. That's
Yes, she
how I
attacked
choose
us with-
most of my friends and acquaintances.
She attacked us with gargoyles.
Oh, and you ran?
No, we
Defeated them?
killed all the gargoyles.
We
and nearly
defeated
killed her before she ran off in a puff of piss-smelling smoke. Just a utterly cowardly retreat.
Oh.
Oh, I would have given anything to be there and see her tail and run. Maybe I see what you have found useful in this lot, Vellynne.
Can I ask a question?
And she sort of turns to where you've moved off to the side, Osborne. Certainly.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Oh, well, little one, that depends on whether you make an enemy of yourself or not.
That
I'm
sounds
very
like-
good.
Witch.
That's a
That's
bad thing
witch
to
for sure.
say.
Yeah.
Mm.
Vellynne's a bad witch.
It seems like it, yes.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I mean,
But she's been cool.
I'm not sure how hoodwinked you thought we were, but I mean,
Mhm.
this
Well,
whole thing has
again,
kind of been a
If
very...
you've proven useful to this point, she kind of gives a sly grin over at you, Vellynne, then she would have had no reason to be otherwise. But once you've fulfilled your purpose to her, well,
She will
she
fulfill
didn't have
her
any
act.
friends when you met her, did she?
No, she had a couple of kobolds that
Yeah,
she
em-
couldn't care
employees.
less if they lived or died.
And
Sort of a
treasured
deal.
them, did she? Seemed to care for their well-being?
No,
About
they're
as
dead.
much as I would care for a couple of zombie kobolds. This is not, I think, the line of reasoning you think it is.
I mean, I didn't have any friends when I met Wilhelm, but now we're like total bros, you know?
And Vulcan.
Same thing with me and Wilhelm.
And Vulcan, too.
And Vulcan,
Yeah,
too.
that one too, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
Yeah.
Vulcan.
People wanted to hug me at first. When did we stop hugging me?
We all got really warm clothes.
Yeah, we got warm gear. Sorry.
I will
I would
admit,
still hug you, but I have an affection thing.
as she's like trying to cast me in a bad light and stuff, and mentions the kobolds and whatever, Vellynne kind of pauses and goes, I'll admit my actions do not put me in a good light, but I have risked my life for all of you. more than once in the past. Incidentally, I quite like my kobolds, but we reached an agreement when they decided to come into my employ. It's a hard life. It's a hard business. There's only so much compassion that will allow the majority of people to survive. They understood the risks. It's not my fault that some of them perished.
And not to put too
if
fine.
you can stop this winter, my sword and shield are yours.
I
What?
mean,
Wait, I've got another question. For the what do you call that? Evanescent. Right.
She kind of
You can see through her, right? You can see through her too, right?
translucent.
Yeah, that's the
fades
one.
from view and appears
Incorporeal.
right
Ethereal,
Osborne.
also.
Why did you laugh when someone said Oriel a minute ago?
Well, let's just say I've spent some time on this island and seen a bit more of what she has at her command, not to mention her own presence and what it entails.
Have you ever seen her turn into a big owl bear lady?
Oh, that is her common form that
Yeah,
she
that was
uses
weird.
to patrol the island.
We killed that pretty good, so.
So you just meant that it's impossible.
Well, certainly it will be a very difficult undertaking.
Yeah, that's what she meant.
About this time, Gran and Zadrin, you pick up at a distance, very far off, and just sort of carried on a glacial wind past your party, a very furious bestial roar,
Oh, jeez.
very similar to the one that you heard earlier the night prior, but still at a distance, but hard to mistake.
I was about to, and so we'll still say, look, we've been jaw-jacking for a little bit now. I feel like we've come to a pretty solid decision point here, Miss Ghost. So, island or what?
She turns her gaze back to Vellynne. Her lips kind of curl in disgust, but you can see that there is calculations being very quickly run in the back of her mind. Vellynne, give me a persuasion check with advantage thanks to the party's efforts.
I'll be keeping an ear out for the bestial yell or any other noises to see if it's like coming closer or what.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
18.
18.
25 perception.
Okay. She kind of rises up to a more upright position than she's been drifting around in and coasts over to you, Vellynne, narrowing her gaze. If I could leave from this spot to follow you and hold you accountable, then perhaps a deal could be struck. Unfortunately. And Vellynne, you watch as the flesh begins to curl and freeze and slough off the visage of her skull. And I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That would be 17.
17 beats it. Zadrin, you don't hear anything else for the time being,
Okay.
but just keep in mind that you heard it in the first place. And I need everyone else to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Ish.
Was not even going to be possible, but y'all earned the possibility. It was just a very high DC. All right, then. Let's do this. Add a bit of that.
Wow, these Rime of the Frost Maiden dice are killing it.
Oh, no.
Rolled a.
It's almost like they're thematically appropriate.
I know.
All right. I guess I should roll for her. Which
No, grand.
that roll?
Okay, good.
I think you go. Who's that? Vulcan? I think your dex is higher than mine.
+2.
Yeah, I'm +1.
Okay.
Oh. Misread that. I need everyone to give me wisdom
Yeah.
saving.
Oh,
throws.
no.
About that.
There it is.
Those of you who are within
Oh,
10 feet of
nice.
me, which is not Ryston, but everyone else, add 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
That's fine. I'm rolling like a king tonight.
23.
16.
I'm gonna use a flash of Genus to add +4. So I got myself a 16.
Okay.
I got an 11.
Okay.
That's what
Wilhelm, what'd you get?
Natural 20. So 27.
Nice. Bryson, what'd you get?
17.
17. All right. And what was your total, Osborne?
11.
Close. You are currently frightened of Vellynne as you see this horrifying visage unfold, but you didn't miss it by too much, so you're not gonna face the other horrifying consequences.
Okay.
All
Is that
right.
Nash? Not Nas or Vellynne that he's frightened of? Because you
Say that
said
again?
you said he was frightened of Vellynne, or would that be Nas?
Of Nas.
Nas.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay. I
okay.
thought you meant that. Just making sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check.
Yes, yes. Okay. All right. As this happens, you all sort of cringe from this terrible vision that unfolds in front of you, but then realize very quickly what it means, that negotiations are at an end. Osborne, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm never at the top of the initiative. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to do something that won't also hit Vellynne, which would be... You know what? I'm so frightened that it makes me a little nauseous.
Oh.
Man.
Okay, I need
We
I
haven't
need
had
the
that in a while.
I know, right?
Dexterity saving throw?
It never works, so almost.
We stand the
Get rid of
barfing
it.
goblin. We stand him.
Yes.
And I'm gonna cast that. Thirdly, yeah, it's a dex saving throw. 14.
Is that considered a spell?
Yes.
That's okay. She still wouldn't do it. Okay. 14 you said is your DC?
Yeah.
She fails.
Okay. So, oh wow, it actually worked for once.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that is gonna be 19 acid damage.
Ooh.
Okay.
And
Notice that
I
her
don't think
ethereal
it's-
form doesn't take quite as much as you thought.
30 feet long, 10 feet wide. Oh, okay. Each creature in the line, which is just the ghost, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be covered in acid for the spell's duration, which is a minute, or until they use their action to scrape or wash the acid off itself. So it's going to take the damage again at the start of the turn.
Gotcha.
Actually, it won't be until the start of her turn. She takes that damage.
Okay, I see. All right. Anything else, Osborne?
I think I should probably get the hell away. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right there. And it's not like acid is on the ground or anything like that. So
Alrighty.
What cardinal direction was that sound? That or
Oh
that
yeah, that.
myself?
Northeast. Bryston, it is your turn.
All right. Ryston has a little bit of a character moment to have during his turn. He gets big, bonus action enlarges, and he starts to, well, he just goes ahead and does his attacks like he would. And he also starts yelling at the ghost. He's like, I cannot believe this. How many incredibly intelligent wizards, schemers, brilliant individuals are going to walk up to a group of 6 to 7 heavily armed, extremely competent people and start a fight with us? Why is no one negotiating? Why do I waste my time ranting at these people, trying to make myself personable, trying to be a good guy and a hero? You know, like I'm supposed to be, right? And yet none of you give a damn. So I'm going to stab you like I always end up doing, and you're going to fade into oblivion. We're going to take the orb, we're going to leave, and you can be stuck on the island forever! Stab, stab.
Yeah, I imagine all of this has to take place as you're stabbing.
While he's getting big, I imagine. So the voice is getting louder and stuff.
That was beautiful.
That is going to be a 16 and an 18 to hit.
Those will hit.
Okay, that is going to be 2d8. Where's my other d8? Oh, I dropped it on the ground during the extra life stream and never picked it up. And I just dropped my other d8. I'm rolling on the character sheet. I should have been doing this from the beginning.
It's been working pretty good for me.
These 10 on the first attack.
Okay.
Sorry, that's 2 10s worth of damage, 20, and then also the giant smite damage for another 8, so 28.
Okay.
And that's going to be all I can do on my turn, unless I action surge, which I won't.
Okay. And staying where you are?
Yes. I'm actually, you know what? I am going to duck around Vellynne in the hopes of giving Wilhelm advantage on a back attack in the near future.
Okay. Gotcha.
And now I'm going to pick up my D8.
Next up is Mask. She kind of rolls her eyes and gives a dismissive wave towards your speech, but then flinches from the impact of your blows. She's
do you get the point now?
Bloodied? I guess she doesn't really bleed, but I guess ectoplasm is beginning to mix with the acid, especially as the acid sets in. But then she turns her angry gaze back to you, Vellynne. I need a charisma saving throw from you, please. And you do not get the benefit of Wilhelm's aura.
You can see the aura now, right?
That is
that's just
totally
you and me.
Cool and fine.
Yep.
Okay, I'll use it. That was a 16.
Is that your final answer?
Do you have something better? Are you a divination wizard?
But you did also earn an inspiration at the beginning of the session, but it's up to you.
No, you passed, dude. She's bluffing. She's bluffing. You passed.
Oh man! Oh shit! I'm gonna reroll.
Got you.
It's amazing.
God, that was terrifying. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm almost scared to say it, even though it's a good number. It's 18.
Okay.
Yeah, 18 succeeds.
What did a 16 have done that?
Yeah.
Man,
She
damn
got
it.
you.
I told you, man. I
Give and you
told
take.
you. Oh, man.
Come on,
That's
I
good.
gotta have some fun.
That was
You
good.
gotta be on our toes.
That was
I
good.
can't hate that.
All right, so you feel the same dreadful chill as she passes through you. But as she sort of enters your form and then is expelled, she gets to choose the direction. So she is going to use that to essentially disengage on the failure. And what is her movement speed? Oh, wow. She's going to go 40 feet straight up in the air.
Okay.
And over a little bit. And
Who you, lady?
that is all she's got for now. Yeah, none of those are bonus actions. Yep. Okay. So that is
None
her
of that
turn.
triggered any of my opportunity attack or anything like that.
Not unless you would be taking it against Vellynne.
Ghosts!
Ghosts.
Goes.
Zadrin. Ranged
Well,
boy.
bonus action, Hunter's Mark, because,
Okay.
start there. And then just fire twice.
Go for it.
Let's use these two.
Oh, that's right,
That's
you can see
one,
it.
that's two.
Joke's on you! I yell. We're
Okay.
more dangerous from far away.
Yep, that would be a 24 and a 26 to hit.
Yep. Hit.
All right, so 2d8 and 2d6 plus 12. That'd be 4, 8, 13. 25 points of magical piercing damage from those two attacks.
Okay. How do you want to do it?
Just quick release. And just keep an eye on that, like make sure she actually is dead, and quick prayer to the Raven Queen.
Zadrin, you
That
know
sounds-
about the dead and the undead.
Yeah.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Ooh. Arcana 17.
17. As you sink the arrows and watch this secondary one sort of rupture her form, that then just kind of discorporates into shreds of this ethereal, translucent, bluish white, she vanishes. But you know the nature of ghosts. She won't be gone long.
Okay. I say
The
we
peace
should.
does fall.
Yes. And I'll announce that to the party. 1, she won't be gone long because she's a ghost tied to this area. And 2, there's something off to the northeast, big and scary, that we heard last night when the cursor was removed from me.
You're still
Howling
in
away.
turn order.
We're out of initiative at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna run and grab the orb, and also kill the weasel. I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Oh.
You do not see Zelenor.
Damn it.
Okay.
Hey, I said I wouldn't kill him, but you know,
You said if she messed with you, you would kill her. Now, I get it. You got to follow through with
Yeah,
your threats.
I
though.
mean-
That's just gangster. I know what's
I
up.
forgot
Uh,
to.
so yeah, I'll grab the orb.
Okay.
I don't
It
feel so
is-
good.
Oh, what?
Oh.
What happened to you?
I think some of that might have been important.
Vellynne, as you go to grab the orb, it is firmly lodged in the frozen death grip.
Do I know
Give
how
me-
strong a Professor Orb is? Like, can it take a spell?
Would you ever have hit it with one?
I don't know.
Why? What are you thinking?
Firebolt the hand. Well, I mean, I gave her an option and she fucked us, so I don't care about her body anymore.
Just cut it off. We'll take it with us. Like
Oh yeah, or that. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't know if I own a knife.
I have a knife. I feel like we should really pry this off of the orb. Or, I
Yeah,
don't
try
know.
pry it off.
She might be able to follow the hand.
Yeah.
I want her to follow the hand.
I've heard stories of spooky
I have more ranting
hands.
to do.
Oh well, all right. If you want to talk to her again. I
No,
guess.
it's I'm being selfish. She's dangerous.
I'll let someone do the honors of cutting her hand off with the orb.
I mean, I can practically reach out from here. My rapier's so big right now. Just
And very quickly, not really, kind of forgetting who I'm with, I'm going to try and unbury the body from the snow and just see what's there.
Yeah, give me a strength check to try and pull it out of the compacted snow around it.
You are
Does
doing
anyone
so
want to
dirty
help?
right now. That's crazy.
Anyone want to help me?
Oh,
please?
you want me to help?
well, what are you
Oh,
doing?
oh,
Are we
are you
are
looking-
we looting?
Are you looking for her spell book? It makes sense.
Just seeing what she's
All right,
got.
yeah, we can. Yes, I pull her out.
I hope she can hear us right now.
You
God,
are-
that would feel nice.
Strong enough, Wilhelm.
Yeah.
You don't need to make a check. Vellynne, with Wilhelm's help, you're able to
Okay.
drag the very rigid, frozen corpse out of the snow. You tossing the body? For loot?
Yeah, I'm gonna check for loot first.
Give me an investigation check.
That's all we're doing.
As you
right?
try to pry through the frozen, sort of compacted robes on her form.
Investigation would be a 21.
Ooh, nice.
I have a ridiculous modifier to that.
Yeah, you're a wizard. Yeah,
very
makes
smart.
sense. Digging through the frozen robes and sort of grimacing at the cracking sounds, the strain that it puts on the body, you do find her spellbook and the spellbook holster that she wears. And I can send you the details on that. You also find in sort of a breast pocket for easy access, a very hastily scrawled piece of parchment that negotiates passage on a vessel called the Wicked Eddy. You find 3 pieces of silver on her person, no coin purse. It seems like that has been left behind or mislaid. And of course, Professor Scant, your Professor Orb. Actually, you also find an empty spell scroll case. Give me an Arcana check, Vellynne. Should be easy for you.
Oh yeah, good lord. What a modifier. That one is a 19.
Okay. You can see on the inside of the case some very beautiful scrawling rune work and recognize some imagery that references the School of Divination.
I'm going to take that just to have a spell scroll holder.
Okay.
It's not magical, or it doesn't seem to be magical, or what I know.
Hard to tell just from looking at it.
Okay, I'll grab it. I won't cast Detect Magic or anything. I feel like we're short on time. However, without mentioning it to anyone, or like asking, whoops, ignore that. I don't know if this is going to help us at all or not in terms of not seeing her ever again, but
This is going to piss off Zadrin. I think I already know what you're talking about, and no.
well, I'm not going to resurrect her or turn her into a zombie. Though
Oh,
I
okay.
could.
All right, cool. All right, well, no, we're cool then. Yeah.
As long as she passes on, then that's all that's necessary. Where she
That
goes
feels
is
like a lost
the other
battle at
gods.
this point.
We might not see her again.
I think she's gonna be.
if I burn her corpse.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. You promised to help her pass on.
That feels like total shot in the dark to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll work, probably.
Will it? Will it though?
we don't know.
She
I'm
said,
very-
and I
Zadrin.
quote,
Yeah.
if I could leave this place, then it might be different. That sounds like
Zadrin
someone who knows
Ryston
why she's a ghost.
Is on the right track. You know from your previous check that the spirits of the dead that are unable to pass on cling to typically a place, usually the location of their demise, regardless of whether the corpse is maintained.
Oh, then I'm taking the hand.
Yep. I really that on.
Firebomb the whole thing.
Yep. The burning the corpse won't do anything other than preventing it from being raised from the dead.
Nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah,
to take
it's-
the hand just in case at some point I decide to give her a chance at resurrection.
I'll still just do that, just immolate her corpse, just because I'm annoyed. It's just
I also-
a cantrip firebolt.
A lot of
I just do
firebolts.
that until it's
It's
gone.
gonna take time. The corpse
damn
is
it.
frozen solid, and firebolt is just a momentary impact of arcane fire.
It's a lot of damage.
Grand,
You
yeah,
have something like create bonfire.
I look over.
Now, don't get me wrong. You can blow it apart with firebolt. It's just
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to completely like
Yeah,
immolate
yeah,
and
yeah.
destroy the physical substance.
I look over at Ozzy because I know he has create bonfire, and I just kind of laugh. I'm like, oh, they asked the wrong person. Maybe Granny has it. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Don't forget, I heard something big and scary off in the distance to the northeast.
Oh yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah, we
would like
can't
to
waste
go.
time here.
I'm currently ignoring all of you guys, and I'm kind of posted up by the rocks near the northeast corner. That's my token. to try and see if it's getting closer, if it's getting louder. I know they've got a lot going on, and I'm not much for the dead, ghosts or no ghosts, so I'm just keeping watch.
Cut
Give
to
me a
Gran's
perception check,
eyes
Gran.
peeking over a rock
Yeah.
like a crocodile
Or a
in a
rock.
pond.
Oh, hold on, I think she gave you a
Yeah, give me a
order.
perception check, Gran.
Rock. A rock.
At least Gran's not trying to eat it.
Beautiful
Yet.
rock.
25.
Ooh, 25. As you sort of sidle up to one of the rocky outcroppings that's not completely buried in snow and ice, you turn your gaze to where the general topography of the island slants upwards towards the center, and you can see that there is some sort of elevation, a plateau or a peak, that has just been completely shrouded in an opaque wall of this snow fog. And as you watch the curling tendrils, there's a momentary break, and you can see several hundred feet away a expanse of the rocky facade of this peak and a strange looking massive formation on the side. It looks almost like a boulder protruding that the ice has clung to, whereas the rest of the stone is bare. Immense in size. And just in the moment that you can see through that fog, it turns towards you and then is gone as the mist shrouds your vision once again.
Here, weasel, weasel, weasel. Here, little weasel.
Shh, shh.
Are you looking for Zelenor?
I'm trying to. I don't want the weasel to it seems mean to leave it here.
Give me a perception check.
Ryston's got an animal thing.
Not an animal.
It's one of
Hold on.
Ryston's 300 things.
Not
that he
an
has.
animal.
It is a fae. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's
I-
a fey creature in animal form.
Ryston,
look-
importantly, does not know that. 12 for perception.
You don't see him.
I look back
well.
and I'm like, I lost it. I can't see the creature anymore.
Hey,
Wait, you could see the creature?
Well,
I think it's time to go now.
hey, Gran, are you hungry?
Here we go.
We don't have eyes on.
I mean, we got. It's probably a little freezer burn, but I mean, I could create a bonfire and thaw it out, see what's what. What do you think?
I pick up Ozzy, tuck him under my shoulder, and start marching away.
Where are we going?
Yes.
Oh, we're going somewhere. I wonder where it
Talking
is.
to Gran.
Gran doesn't say anything. She sees the hastiness of Wilhelm's actions and just puts her head down and keeps.
Ryston's gonna go bow. He's gonna keep on a lookout and try and bow the first dangerous looking creature that appears out of the icy mist.
Okay. But are y'all pressing on or staying here for now?
Pressing,
Pressing on.
pressing, not.
Which I guess is toward the interior of the island at this
Yeah,
point,
at this
right?
point
We've got
it'd
the
be-
orb.
At this point, you would be hooking northwards and eastwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Towards the loud
wait.
sound.
Oh well.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Can we?
Sure.
Can we go around that? Yeah.
Can we go directly east, or are we ready for that
You
yet?
can go north and try to sort of circumnavigate the peak instead of taking it head on here.
We don't want to waste time.
I like this patch of non-enchanted snow as far as confrontations go.
Yeah,
I don't want to run into it in a statue garden.
Okay.
I don't like this
Mm,
rain
yeah, true.
up here.
I leave it to Gran and Zadric. They have not let us far.
Yep.
Yeah, leave it to them.
I say I vote go forth.
Are we going directly towards the peak in the center of the island or pressing north to find a way around?
So we just go up.
Yeah.
To the
It's
east.
why we're here.
I'm already cold enough. Why take the longer route?
Yeah.
We have people
Yes.
chasing us anyway.
Yes.
Is there any reason, stimulus or otherwise, that we wouldn't go straight toward the
The
fortress?
creature that we keep hearing is
Yeah.
directly in our path.
Other than that.
No, that's
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
So taking the mountain head on them?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
We can at least assess it. You know, if it's going to be a nightmare cliff.
We can always turn back. So
Definitely.
Yeah, it's not like this island is a horribly inhospitable winter wasteland that'll kill us as soon as we turn our backs.
No, of course not.
Oh, yeah.
While they're
Face it
chatting,
head on.
I'm gonna grab the orb, Professor Scant, and try and talk to it.
As you take it up in hand and sort of reach out with the mental connection, you see the familiar specks of silver light emerge from the smoky quartz crystal interior. Oh, good show, Vellynne. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance once again, my lady.
You see probably, I would say, one of the bigger, if not biggest, smiles you've seen on Vellynne thus far. And she goes, hello, Professor. I hope Nas was not too rough with you.
Oh, not at all. Just very prying, very curious about many things. I think I quite regaled her with some of my more rehearsed tales of my areas of expertise, which with you, of course, are intimately familiar.
Of course.
Can we hear the orb when it talks, just out of curiosity? Is it an out loud thing?
You hear muffled speech coming
Okay.
from it. It is at a volume that is meant for the holder's ears, but you can hear that there's sound coming from it.
Very quickly, I'll go. So we're on the Isle of Solstice, and we're still looking for the codicil of light. It appears as Nas was not able to find it before her untimely demise.
No, it was treacherous boarding on the island. The ship that she took a passage on, dreadful crew, ran aground on the ice shelf just beyond the bay. And, well, Nas swam for it and was kind enough to bring me along, so I wasn't lost on the bottom of the ocean, as it were. But she did pass away from exposure in the end.
Any idea where we should go for the codicil? I know it's not your area of expertise.
On the island, it is likely in Grimskaya.
All right. That's all I needed. Thank you very much.
Oh,
We'll
my
talk later.
pleasure, Miss Vellynne. The specks of silver dim as you tuck Professor Scant away. All right. Gran and Zadrin, I imagine, are heading the approach to the mist-shrouded peak. But before I get those survival checks from you, as some time has passed in minimal movement, the elements are unkind. I need a Constitution saving throw from everyone at advantage thanks to your winter weather gear.
that conversation with Professor, was that out loud? Like
Out loud but muffled volume. I would say if you're trying to hear it in any detail, I would need a perception check on it.
okay.
I got a 24.
Success.
I got a 28 if I'm near Wilhelm, which I am trying to be.
Digging these dice. I'm under
Success.
Wilhelm's arm. I guess
I
that's
got a 19.
28.
21.
19 as well.
A 24 on the con save, but only an 8 on perception.
Oh.
18 on the con save.
Okay. Zadrin, Vulcan, and Wilhelm, you failed. Point
What?
of exhaustion.
19?
As you
Ooh.
approach the
Wow.
core of the island,
Wow.
it is
Oh
reaching
my god.
unsurvivable temperatures. But you're not common folk. You still get to roll for it instead of just dying.
Yeah, thank God.
It's good to be an adventurer.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any?
Gran, you just hear the muffled back and forth. You definitely note that there is a distinctly new voice coming from this orb, and you make out NASA's voice NASA's name just from your familiarity with it, but you're not able to gain any more of the conversation.
Okay.
Now then, what about those survival checks, Gran and Zadrin? Or one of you at advantage?
Wilhelm, do we get the 4 points for survival checks?
No, only for saves.
Okay, cool. 24 then.
Oof. 17.
17. Still not bad.
Yeah.
But Gran, as you and Zadrin lead the party forth, you eventually are pushing into this low-hanging snow fog bank, and there is a solid half hour of treacherous going where visibility is virtually non-existent. You notice the party beginning to slip a little bit here and there as your path is intersected with ice that is very thinly hidden beneath freshly fallen powder. And as the weight is settled on it, you get that sort of slip. But you're able to minimize that terrain, finding the safest paths until you pass through the wall of Snow Shroud and see a towering peak before you, and perched on the top of it, a towering fortress. Grimskaya.
Oh, that are beautiful.
Much like the stairs from the pier, you can see that roughly hewn and heavily worn away from the elements, there appear to be stairs in the side of the mountain, but they are sized for giants, and it will be difficult passage on them. So, do you want to try and navigate the stairs or find your own path up the peak?
Do we see another way at all? This looks like we're the target if we go up these stairs.
Yeah. We slow moving targets either way, but maybe we'll be able to find some cover if we find our own path. Is there any signs of any possible paths around, or is it like sheer cliffs?
Give me a perception check.
How tall is each step?
21.
Each step is roughly 5.5 feet.
Ugh.
Okay.
And that was a 21 perception check.
Okay. Sort of scanning what you can of the face of this mountain. It's craggy and very uneven, which would make for good footholds and handholds in a lot of places. It's definitely possible to try and scale elsewhere than the stairs. It would just be a treacherous path either way. You feel like one is a little bit safer, but doesn't offer you any cover or protection. The other is more treacherous, but might make up for it in breaking line of sight for anything keeping an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple of magical spells that could also help us
pass without a trace.
Yes, I also had. I have. What the fuck?
That's my favorite spell.
I have Tensis floating disc, which can fit. How many people? Maybe one. It's 3 feet in diameter, and it can hold up to 500 pounds. So, I mean, if you guys are hugging,
Mm-hmm. You would still have to make the climb.
Yes, I would. But still, it might help someone. I also can cast invisibility on myself, which may or may not be useful right now.
I don't know that we should do the more labor-intensive and treacherous path with a bunch of exhausted party members.
True. I forgot
So
about
cold.
that. So,
I wish I could fly.
stairs then?
I believe so. That's
Yeah,
my
with the
vote.
exhaustion, yeah, I would go stairs as well. It's frigid out here.
All right. As you begin to make your way towards the foot of this staircase, you begin to feel fresh snowfall drifting around you. Nothing unusual for the train you've been in. But these snowflakes are large and seem to fall faster and with more weight than you're used to. Zadrin, you feel a momentary sort of clip against your cheek and reach up and see a few drops of blood come away. Wilhelm,
Razor snow.
you begin to hear
Oh, Jesus.
ching, 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 as the flakes fall against your armor. You are
Razor snow.
indeed experiencing razor snow for the first time, and this staircase is going to become a skill challenge. So,
While we're
for
all at
those of
disadvantage.
you, well, some of you, at a disadvantage with your exhaustion. So it seems to me like every DM does skill challenges a little bit differently. So just to make sure that we're kind of all on the same page with what is going to unfold, you will essentially, as a party, have to make a series of attempts to make your passage expedited or easier. Something you have to choose a check that you want to roll to try and alleviate the burden of making this passage. And because of the razor snow, you only get a limited number of attempts to do so. After a certain number of failures, you will start taking damage. So, with that being said, who wants to make the first effort to try and speed your party's process up these towering giant stairs coated in ice?
I guess I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just quickly cast Pass Without Trace
Okay.
while we're here hanging out, in case
Okay.
we get separated a little bit.
Everyone, I believe, has to stay within 30 feet of you to get the benefit of that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Vellynne,
So, what to roll?
you tell me what check you want to roll and what actions you are taking to justify that being your skill.
Okay. So the snow is like the stairs are covered in snow, or it's the snow that's falling on us that's like.
It's the snow that's falling on you that is pending being damaging as the intensity of the storm builds.
Okay. I will do. I would say for my contribution to this, I'm trying to think of what would be a good just like smart person thinking check. The tensor's floating disc, it follows me, and it's 3 feet above the ground. Okay. Do I know if snow hits it, will it block snow? Like if I put it above stairs, like 3 feet above the stair we're trying to get to, effectively it's clear area for everyone to like try to get
It
to.
might, but check the spell. I don't know if you have the ability to position it in that way. I think it just follows you at a fixed distance. If you want to read that, we can come back to you if anyone else has an idea ready for what they want
I
to
had
roll.
one.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I was gonna acrobatics up the stairs, possibly bring a rope, just to give everyone else a little bit more purchase and something to hold on to.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check. One thing I did fail to mention is making the same check subsequently will increase the DC for that particular skill.
Okay.
So if another person comes behind to do acrobatics, they'll face a slightly higher DC. But it'll be that way for any skill.
Well, I have a 25 for that.
Okay, that is a success.
So
All right, one success down. Ryston vaults ahead, pulling out a rope and dragging one end behind. Wilhelm, what are you?
Wilhelm uses athletics and rolls at disadvantage and attempts to toss people up. It's like, good thing none of you are dwarfs.
Inspiration for the
illegal.
reference.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll use my inspiration then.
Ooh.
Awesome. That's a lot better. So now it's a 19 athletics.
19 is a success.
Sweet.
All right, perfect. Your rippling muscles able to easily take on the challenge ahead of you. Who's next?
I'll do perception checks to kind of pick out less treacherous ways out. like
Sure.
less like sheer icy walls and what might be better footholds?
Yeah, you could do that with perception or survival. Your pick.
Okay, they're the same. Yeah, and disadvantage. Wait, yes, these count as ability checks at disadvantage. Ooh, that's a 4 on the dice, a 9.
9. Okay, that
Yeah.
is a failure. It is
Yeah.
hard to compose yourself to take a keen, discerning look at the path ahead as you are feeling the impact of the rays of snow begin to pierce through bits of your clothing and armor.
I'd say that'd be survival check. It's the same difference for me, but yeah.
So which one are you making it? Because
It
it'll
was
impact
survival.
future
Yeah.
checks.
Survival. In case someone else wants to make a perception.
Okay. Who's next?
gonna
I
use-
guess. Oh, you can go ahead.
Go ahead.
I guess instead of what I was going to do, I'll cover for the perception or investigation. Basically, trying to find if there's like easier paths, like either along the steps or like next to the steps that we can use as we go along. Just trying to see if there's any way we can make the like stepping from one to the next a little bit easier.
Yeah, you can give me investigation as you pass a little bit more slowly and look closely for handholds, cracks in the stairs that can be used. Yeah, give me an investigation check.
That would be a 17.
17 is another success. As Vellynne begins pointing out for those behind in the party the more reliable places to pull yourselves up on oncoming stairs. Gran, what you got?
I use my retractable claws that I don't bring out very often. I'm gonna use those as, you know, almost like crampons or python, but I stay a lot lower to the ground. And this is probably the most dragon like I have looked to the party as I kind of try and claw myself. And I'm almost like on my belly.
What check do you want to make that?
I have retractable claws as like the feet.
But to use it to the party's
just
benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I do it, it's an attack roll, but I think
Let's call it a nature check.
nature. Okay, that sounds good. I get +0, so that sounds great.
13? Okay. You are making good progress using your talons, but it unfortunately doesn't really lend anything to the party's efforts.
Sure.
I have the storm rune available.
Hold
to
on
me.
to that because I want to get through everyone's first attempt before we start circling back around.
Okay. Yeah.
Vulcan, what you got?
I am also going to use an investigation check.
Okay, go ahead. It's going to be a slightly higher DC.
At disadvantage.
If you're exhausted, yep.
Sure am. It's been a tough couple days. I rolled a 14. I am going to use another flash of genius to give myself another +4 for 18.
That turns a failure into a success. The party is starting to sort of gain momentum. At this point, you are about halfway up the stairs leading towards the base of the fortress. Osborne.
I want to cast a spell.
Okay, what spell are you casting?
I'm going to cast a spell on myself.
Okay.
The spell is
Go
called
on.
Polymorph.
Okay.
Damn it! I have polymorph.
To turn
you gonna
myself
polymorph
into
it?
Think about it.
into a giant ape.
Okay. How do you lend this to the party's efforts?
Well, they have a shitload of hit points.
You do?
And
Are you going to like
that's
sort
it.
of shield the party and take damage from the snow if it starts, or are you
they
using
also,
your strength to bring people along?
they have very high strength as well. They have a +6 to strength, so
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Wow.
he's gonna
Okay.
climb the stairs and help people up.
Give me a strength check with the apes stats.
Okay.
Help me.
Strength check. Okay.
I'm code.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that is a 23.
Ooh, that is
Yep.
another success. You are making very quick headway with all of these individual factors sort of coming together in this group effort. 5 successes is what you needed. You have sort of put together a well-oiled machine that begins to just sort of launch you forwards in your progress up this staircase. And by the time the razor snow has become so dense that you feel like you would start to take damage from it, you arrive at the base of the fortress and see the towering 20-foot wooden doors ahead of you.
Let's
Going
go.
right in?
Is there any writing like in our path or along the door?
Give me a quick perception check.
Okay, which two? Let's use this one and this one. That will be a 16. Well,
16.
it'd be a 13 because I doubt this is favorite terrain.
Okay. 13.
Yeah.
On a quick glance, you don't see any. You just see that the steps that you've been climbing in the double door that are made from rotted wood and have since been sort of built over and around with slabs of ice that have dragon skulls and bones embedded in them. There is a single word, though, that catches your attention from the size of the script that it is carved in. On the lintel is a single word in Dwarvish. Do you
I speak Dwarvish. Yes, and
You
Giant.
recognize it to be a name, Grimskaya.
Grimskaya. Seems this place is called Grimskaya, as we know. Ready to enter? And I will have my bow drawn and ready for combat as we are, about to head in.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, because I know a couple of us have a really early morning tomorrow, and before we start dungeon delving, which may become a time-intensive process, it's a little early, but I think this is a really good organic stopping point for the time being, as y'all have now made your ingress into Auriel's abode on the island of Solstice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine. Y'all will be fine.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
we're
great. It'll
just
be fine.
demigods.
So good.
Oh,
The wizard we totally trust to fix everything once she gets what she wants.
yeah. No big problem of like facing the big bad evil guy.
Yeah, no, not at all. Y'all, maybe I shouldn't tell you in case I want to bring it up later. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Yeah, hold on to it.
Keep it in your back pocket.
Yeah.
I will say, y'all dealing with Nas, that was just supposed to be a fight, period. But y'all are persuasive.
Why
when
wouldn't
you
you-
want to be.
Why wouldn't we want an angry magic ghost on our side? Like that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be like,
fair
hey
enough.
Nas, what's through this wall? Boom.
That'd be- oh man, that would be so overpowered.
Yeah, you'd be like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah. Oh gosh, that was fun. Good session, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here then. Roll20, thank you so much for your
Thank
continued
you.
support of our stream. Obviously, we are very much enjoying using your platform for our virtual game. Viewers, of course, thank you so much for hanging out and tuning into the stream. We always appreciate
Thank
seeing y'all
you.
here and having you in chat. Players, thank you so much for playing. As always, it is a pleasure to DM for you guys.
DM, thank you for DMing.
Yep. What
Thank
he
you,
said.
Morgan.
Of course, happy to do so.
Mhm.
As always, all of you out there in the wide world, you can stay up to date on all things Neon Goblin by following us on Twitter at twitter.com/goblinneon. You can also check out our video on demands for all of our past streams on our YouTube channel, as well as some of the recent streams here on Twitch. Want to offer another quick shout out, thanking everyone that tuned into our 24-hour charity stream and contributed, allowing us to meet our fundraising goal for Extra Life, benefiting Children's Network Hospitals. We are now beyond our goal, and I believe the donation link is still active. So head on over to our Twitter. We'll be sharing that on the Twitter again here shortly. And in the meantime, we thank y'all very much. We love y'all very much. And we will see you next time on Frigiphobia. Bye!
Bye.
Bye, bye, guys.
Bye,
Thanks for
bye,
watching.
bye.
We're gonna have it next time.